Welcome back to another exciting edition of Youth Empowerment Television Show. If you are stepping out today, you have to take a lot of precautions, and especially those who are using the N1. There's a very serious traffic, and the road is very, very slippery, especially from the Jolu Junction to the Bofun Junction there. You need to be very, very careful because the traffic situation there is a situation where you need to be very, very careful about. We are going to go straight to the point. Today we are discussing challenges students face at GetFund. We are still in the Ghana Independence Mood celebration, and as you can see, I have my beautiful African wear here, and this design is from FM McAfee or Fela McAfee clothing line, and so I'm deeply wearing a very strong brand. Challenges student face at GetFund. My guest already seated. If you want to join the conversation, send us messages on 0548503799, 0548503799. Make sure you send your messages. If you want to send us a voice note, maybe we'll get there, but voice note will be quite difficult for us to open. We'll be speaking to some student leaders also, and student opinion or student activists also on phone. We'll be speaking to the Nooks, Karen Nooks president. We'll be speaking to YB, who is also a very vibrant student activist. We'll be looking at the challenges students are facing. Some of our MPs who are brilliant but needy happen to get chance to get scholarship from the GetFund. However, it is presumable that almost all the students that apply for student loan, less than 10% or averagely 10% of them get the student loan. But before I come to my guest in the studio, we have YB is on phone. Hello, Chairman. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Charlie, how be? Long time.
I'm very good, and you?
Yeah, everything is fine by grace for God and for country. Currently, we are discussing the challenges that students face at GetFund or when they try to access the GetFund loans. What's your take on this generally?
Okay, thank you very much. I think I would first have to greet our listeners, Ghanaian students, your panel members, Pius, and then our colleague political science students from the University of Ghana. I think issues with grants, or let's say organizations that award scholarships, are becoming kind of a problem now.
Yeah.
Because they'll give you the letter and you take like months before you pay. Meanwhile,
Wow.
who has its own timelines with regards to the collection of their fees and others. So I believe if the various schemes that have decided to award students with scholarships help needy students to pay their fees,
Yeah.
if they would be up and going, at least know that there are timelines on every school.
Yeah.
Specific dates and times that they have to pay their fees.
Yeah.
They should respect those timelines for us. And I believe the Ghanaian students as well as the institutions as well will applaud them very well. Because as we speak now, all that we need is, okay, the monies have been paid. That is it. But
all right, YB, if you can hear me, I wanted to ask you, so you are saying that even though students are allowed to apply for the loan, apart from the fact that only a few, less than 10% or even 10% get access to the loan that they request for, the scholarship that they apply for, are you saying that even the few ones that get the chance with GetFund, the payments are not even done according to the academic timetable or the kind of timelines they have with the various students account department? Is that your case?
Yes, exactly what I'm saying. But let's say, with regard to its application, as we initially stated, not all applicants can be able to get the scholarship.
Yeah.
For that one, we as students and as Ghanaians and everyone must be well assured that not everyone can get it. The fact that you apply doesn't mean it's automatic you are going to get it. But our problem is a few that get the scholarship, they should pay on time to help the students ease themselves once they are in school.
Oh, but YB, if you can hear me, Madam Adjoa Safwa, brilliant but needy student. I mean that's what the GetFund Act seeks to explain for students who are getting the scholarship. Those who need access. It came early for her. She didn't complain.
the issues regarding Ajay Safua and the big names that they mentioned, personally, I have not gone deep into the scheme. There are rules and regulations and others. So, I have to say Ajay Safua is not brilliant and needy or whatever. With that, I can't say much. And there's a situation where that aspect per se, that issue per se, is a bone of contention where the fund itself is at the other end. The person who leads that statement is at the other end. The AG is also at the other end. So you can't say much. Okay.
Why me? If you can hear me, we cannot say much. But the question I would want to ask you is that since we cannot say much because we are not privy to the nitty-gritties or the details of that scholarship, the simple question I want to say is that should you find out that indeed these current ministers, then MPs, who got access to GetFund scholarships when they could have easily afforded, are you saying if these facts are available to you, would you say that they did a great disservice to our nation for accepting and applying for such scholarship?
I think it depends on the arrangement. It depends on the arrangement because I know there are certain parts or let's say certain institutions that give scholarship to their lecturers to go outside the country to further their education and others. So probably understand the difference from Ajay Safua was she did that to help the office that she's currently occupying. So indeed, it is in consultation with that office. Probably maybe you would pardon her for that. But if not, and it's just for her personal stuff, then I think there's a cause for Allah.
Thank you so much, YB. It's such a great pleasure to have you on Youth Empowerment Television Show. So if you are watching Youth Empowerment Television Show, we are discussing the student position on the challenges they face assessing scholarships from GetFund. And I said my guest is already also seated. We're speaking to some one or two people on phone. We've done with YB on phone. Now this is Youth Empowerment Television Show, the most authoritative youth analysis show you can find in the whole of Africa. And we are glad that you have joined us on this particular conversation. I think I should move straight to my guest, and Abdul Rafiu Haruna is a political science student from the University of Ghana. Chairman, you're welcome. Such a pleasure to be on Youth Empowerment Television Show. My question is a bit straightforward. Isn't it worrying that a few percent, I mean, an insignificant percentage of students who apply for the loan, the scholarship, do not get it? However, the few that get it, we have brilliant but needy people who possibly are well-to-do in that list. Is it something we should encourage as a nation?
Thank you very much. I would say a very good afternoon to your cherished listeners and viewers across the length and breadth of Ghana, especially those in Savannah region who are ardent viewers of Pan-African TV. My own people in Bole, Bamboy, I say a very good afternoon to them. I think the issue of GetFund and matters arising has a huge national discourse and is now in the center stage in national discourse.
You said you greet people of
Bole Bamboy.
Bole Bamboy, former President Mohammed's
hometown.
Okay.
I'm also hailing from that place. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's always a pleasure to send a greeting to my people. I think before I make any advance, I would like to, take a historical journey for us to appreciate and acquaint ourselves with the basic essence of this scholarship. Passed through an act of parliament in 2000. I think it's a universal recognition that there's a fundamental challenge when it comes to education. And we have all recognized that education is very important. When it comes to research, staff development, and facilitating education even at higher level, I think it's a matter of concern to our leaders. That is the basic essence for what? This GetFund scholarship. I think what is currently happening defeats the very purpose for which the scholarship was established. And some of us on an objective platform such as this will not hesitate to speak to the letter and will not hesitate to speak to issues. And what I mean is that we are speaking without fear of consequence. Sometimes it saddens me that you don't go out there to look at the trickle-down effect. Meet ordinary students who have been victimized in this GetFund situation and you will be appalled. So in that case, sometimes I begin to wonder what at all is the problem with Mother Ghana. The issue is that there is GetFund scholarship purposely for basic, needy but brilliant students. In any case, I heard Richard Body, who is currently the administrator of GetFund, yesterday on Asempa FM. He made shocking revelations. And it goes a long way to vindicate the position of the Auditor General. I think, consequently, one of the politicians who is alleged to have applied for GetFund scholarship, his name popped up.
Who is that?
I think Honorable Kennedy Osenyako, the Deputy Agric Minister. I think he admitted that he has applied for the scholarship, but he didn't meet the requirement, for which reason he was not given the money. In that case, fundamentally something is wrong. And what I mean is that a minister, an MP, should not be part of this particular scholarship scheme. So in that case, whether he has taken the money or not, the wrong thing has been done. For you
how about people or persons appointed by presidents to head GetFund? Now you are talking about ministers or MPs who have applied for the scholarship. Those, some got, some didn't get. Would you also say that His Excellency former President Mahama did a very bad job by appointing a GetFund administrator who cannot give the scholarship to people who duly qualify?
You know what? I want to say this thing. When you give a position of responsibility to a steward, and the steward reneges on his responsibility, I think the ramifications do not affect your political party, but it affects the entire Ghanaian populace. What I'm saying is that the appointment of that said person to award scholarship to people who are not supposed to take that scholarship, that in itself is a wrong thing. And I think there's another classical case. If you are following this case very critically, there's a certain woman called Ramana Sharif. And that particular candidate has a situation span during President Mohammed's administration. And the revelation is that she is supposed to be schooling in UK. And the name is part of the 88 list.
That has been paid, but she hasn't actually received. She hasn't
received, including stipend.
And she's written to the school.
And the stipend means they will give you the
monthly,
monthly stipend.
About 2,000 pounds a month.
Yes, so, they'll give it to you. That this woman is saying that I am not a beneficiary of GetFund. I have applied on a number of occasions.
So would you say her case is a classical example of create, loot, and share?
Rightly so. Rightly so.
At what period did that happen?
What I mean, at what period? The period this will happen is the period that the politician, the non person.
So I'm saying that at what year period did that create, loot, and share you have admitted happened?
I think
per the woman's case, which year is that?
I think specifically, I don't want to give specific, but what I want to say that both the two dominant political parties have faulted in this regard. So I don't want to give specifics because I've given you two cases.
Very well.
And in both cases, you realize that there was wrongdoing in that of the NDC and in that of what? The MPP. So these are things I'm talking about. I may not be compelled to give, what do you call it, specific.
I'm saying this because people have sought or people seek to politicize this issue. This issue has nothing to do with MPP, NDC, or the various presidential candidate. This issue has to do with people who have been given positions of trust, or people who are taking charge of state institutions or agencies or branch of government that they need to do due diligence on behalf of the Ghanaian populace. And so my next question to you is that what should be the way forward?
I think the way forward,
especially on this issue.
On this very issue, I think it's a wake-up call. It's a clarion call for all student, leadership to take to take this thing into account and put very important measures in place. And what I mean is that the student population should demand accountability when it comes to this scholarship scheme. We should not limit our focus to GetFund. The other scholarship scheme, I can tell you that they are also facing this same challenge. Including the GMPC, including the local tertiary scholarship. When you go down, you get to know some of these things. So what should happen is that we are looking at leadership that will be the true crusaders of the student agenda. So in that case, we have unified NUCs, and we have the strongest conviction that this particular NUCs is going to work for students. So in that case, NUCs consistently should appraise some of these things, go in there, ask questions, demand answers. That apart, Richard Body, the administrator, mentioned that there's currently 1,700 students, plus students, locally sponsored students. I think they should make do a fact-finding mission, engage in this particular line of assignment, and find out who is benefiting from this scholarship. So I stand to be skeptic about the credibility and veracity of this particular assertion. So they should go in there. They should show that they are representatives of the student population. Go find out who is benefiting from this, including students abroad. The case of Ramana Sharif tells us, sends a very good signal to us that we should even question those who are even outside the country studying. Is it the case that they've taken the money? Is it the case that they are beneficiaries of GetFund, or people are hiding under the guise of a GetFund and using other people's names to benefit from the money at the expense of the rightful owners?
Okay, we'll come to that. Now, I have the former General Secretary of NUCS on the line, and he is in the person of Pius Yebua Nimako. And Pius, if you can hear me, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Pius.
Good afternoon.
Yes, it's great to have you on Ghana's most authoritative youth analysis program, Youth Empowerment Television Show, sir.
Hello?
Yes, you're live on Pan African TV. Let's hear you, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Unfortunately, our networks are not helping us a lot, but we'll do our best to get back to Pius. But Pius, can you hear? Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can really hear you now.
Very well. You are live on Pan African TV. Let's hear you, Pius. What is your take on the GetFund issue? The fact that students are not getting their rightful access to the GetFund loans, but we happen to have members of parliament, ministers of state who are brilliant but needy getting it.
Oh, okay. You see, this issue, is that very unfortunate.
Yeah.
That some Ghanaian students could not have access to this scholarship, but then we have politicians who are well to do to access this fund.
Yes.
I haven't been a student leader. It's very unfortunate. The act, the GetFund Act, the instrument that creates the GetFund, which is the Act 581. It does not exempt politicians from accessing the fund. That means there is no law that prevents any politician from accessing the fund. But it is only reasonable that they are being paid enough.
Pius, are you saying, Pius, are you saying that the fact that the constitution was not clear, that politicians are not exempted from those beneficiaries of GetFund, does that mean that are you saying that the GetFund Act was also silent on the fact that it should be given to students who are brilliant but needy? Is that not in way a suggestion that politicians who are paid with taxpayers' money, having access to car loans, having access to facilities, are you saying that even though the constitution did not state that politicians are not naturally exempted, it means that even if they have gotten it and they are maybe receiving salaries in the tens of thousands, it is right by law for them to be beneficiaries to this?
Legally, it is right for them to be beneficiaries to the fund. Because you see, in Ghana, if there's no law criminalized or that speaks against your act, you cannot, challenge, such an act or say that act is unlawful.
Well.
Not exempt politicians, from.
On the face of your statement, politicians are not exempted. You're right. Politician can be somebody who is maybe contesting for NUCS a position, young students who may be brilliant but needy. But for you to classify a member of parliament who has access to several facilities, who did not apply for a student loan but gets fund scholarship as well, anyways, let's have your opinion, Pius.
That's why I'm saying that it's very unfortunate.
Yeah. Yes. Hello, Pius. Hello, Pius. Okay, just in, I will pray that my producers can get in touch with the current NUCS president, Jay Hyde, or any of the executives of NUCS, especially with Jay Hyde. I know when Jay we want to speak with him, he would grant us access. We want to ask him questions on this GetFund thing. We have just a few minutes to wrap up. And the coronavirus or the COVID-19 as we speak now, there's South African students, Kenyan students, Ghanaian students who are stranded in China. We cannot, on behalf of the Ghanaian youth, make a show like this today and not speak about the corona virus. As at yesterday, one person has been confirmed affected or infected with the COVID-19 in Senegal. Already in Africa, Senegal, Nigeria are the only sub-Saharan African countries who have been infected or have affected by this COVID-19. As at yesterday, 90,000 people have been infected with the coronavirus. Now, 90,000 people across the world from 60 countries have been affected. Now, if you check the statistics or how fast the virus is going, it tells you that we need to not only protect ourselves as Ghanaians, but every young person of Ghanaian origin or Ghanaian citizenship, or who is a Ghanaian national, who is a student studying abroad. We need Nook's position on this. They have been sent some food, and if you see pictures of the kenke and how the thing was packaged to them, it's as if, I don't want to use the word, it's as if people receiving food from Guantanamo Bay. Let's get serious as a nation and address this particular issue. Chairman, what's your final take on this as we try to get the Nooks executives online?
I think I want to infer from what he just said, because he made the comment that the law is silent on who and who should benefit, as to whether renowned persons or politicians should benefit or not. I've maintained that it's not about the silence of the law. It's about the sensitivity to the Ghanaian people interest. The case is that what is currently happening, those people who are alleged to have been beneficiaries, and we know very well that they can finance their education from elementary level to PhD, whatever level.
But they also make a case that, for example, Ajosafua can afford. That's what we think. We do not know her financial situation, but generally that's what we think. And she makes a case that, for example, she was going to do something that benefits her constituency. And if it is something that benefits the constituency and the state want to fund, I think it wasn't a private, MBA or a private doctorate degree she was seeking for herself. It was something that benefit the Ghanaian people. And so if the state is sponsoring, isn't it a good thing to do?
Well, from the angle you are coming from,
because the law actually permits that when they realize that in such situations they can consult with their board if it has a general interest of helping the state.
I think I listened to, like I indicated from the beginning in my submission, I listened to the GetFund administrator
yesterday.
He said something like this. He said if it is about capacity building, and the politicians or those people we think they are well to do and they can finance their education are equally eligible to what the funds. So in that case, when it's about capacity building, they can go and secure GetFunds, scholarship for what? Further education. But I still maintain that some of them, I think on national television, if you follow the case, like I said, that particular minister I'm saying, he admitted that I am very, okay financially. I can finance my education from whatever level to whatever level. But he...
Sorry, we are trying to reach Jay Hyde, who's the current Nooks president, but he is not able to pick up. So if anybody is watching us and you are close to Jay, let him know that the way we were quick and always intact on Pan-African TV whilst he was vying for the position, we pray we have that same, and I know he's a very busy guy, especially at this week. So Jay, please, if you hear us, try and get in touch and let's see if we can have a discussion on this, but especially on the COVID-19 issue.
Okay, another thing is that it will be very interesting as far as this particular discourse is concerned to have known what particular program she pursued and how it's going to benefit the constituency. So you can't come on national television and tell Ghanaians that if I have intentions to pursue a program that to inure to the benefit of my constituency, in that case it is justifiable that whether I can do it or not, I should resort to a GetFund to do that. I stand to differ from that particular assertion. These are things we are talking about. Let me tell you, only last week I was going to lectures. I met a brother from Upper East. He's currently a master's student in University of Ghana, by name Atamga. He told me that I have applied to GetFund on several occasions. I went through this rigorous process of interviews, application, and this bureaucracy at the GetFund administration, and yet I've not received a penny. But the scholarship I'm benefiting now is a private scholarship. I've not even experienced this rigorous process in my attempt to get this fund to finance my education at the University of Ghana.
Are they not just pursuing due diligence?
Well, if it's about due diligence, how many Ghanaian students are benefiting? That's why I am saying that let us think about how to even know who and who is benefiting from this, money. I am putting this question deliberately because there are instances where people's names were mentioned and they are not there.
So the right to information bill has come of age. It's a matured bill now. It's a matured law. However, they are yet to set up the board where they can determine the fund to use. I'm sure when that is finally in full execution, we can get access to all the information that we are looking for. Just in a minute to wrap up.
Okay. I think some of these things you don't have to get the right to information bill. We are talking about list, talking about local students who are beneficiaries of GetFund. So in that case, if you put out the list, you can this so.
Have you gone to their website to see if it's not there, or you haven't checked?
Well, I was on the website. I've not seen anything like that. Today, before I appeared on this program, I was on the website.
Okay.
So only yesterday when he was even speculative in that regard as to the number of students who are benefiting. He can't even give specific to that effect. That is data himself. So these are things so you smell something fishy at the long run. So what we are saying is that fundamentally there's something wrong somewhere. So when we want to think about a solution to GetFund problems, I think we should start from the the basics, and before we think about who and who is benefiting from it. Whether due diligence or not, I think so over and over in his submission, he made it clear that it's always the case that people don't benefit, but we all cannot be beneficiaries. But the case is that those who are, by law, should be beneficiaries, should benefit from the scholarship.
Very well. The fact that the Constitution did not categorize states who should benefit from the GetFund doesn't mean common sense shouldn't be applied. Politicians, MP, ministers should at least leave for the less privileged. This is from De Silva from Bole.
Yes.
Okay. This one says that, good day, this is Pius Yamwa, Nook's General Secretary former. GetFund acts as silence on the funds. It does not prevent parliamentarians from benefit from this. Wow. Hello, Richie. I didn't bring the message. Good afternoon. My name is Alaji Aseku, Communications Director of MPP Bole Bamboy. I would like to greet my brother Abdul Rafiu for great job he's doing for Ghana and Bole Bamboy. My name is Boache Philip from Kumasi, Obuase, but you haven't said the message. Richie, can I get invitation to Fela and Medicals? Okay. All right. I'm sure this is where time will permit us. Like I said, we'll try and get you, maybe tomorrow, we'll have an exclusive on the COVID-19 or the coronavirus, all the details you are supposed to know as young people. You see, people do not understand how that particular thing is spreading. It is serious, especially when you do not only get it by airborne. In fact, in situations, what it means is that we must wash our hands every day, every 5 minutes. You must wash your hand to prevent getting contact with the coronavirus. You can even get it by just touching your eye, or by inhaling, or even not covering your mouth. At very open places you can get it. And as of now, there's no, they are still working towards it to manage or control it. In fact, reports shows that the World Health Organization is scared for countries who do not have quality health services to maintain this. Don't forget that when you get it, you must be quarantined. You must be put in an enclosed area to contain the disease. Somewhere in China, over 2,000 people are dead, even with the kind of health facilities they have. This is not something we should play by. You see, the way the youth are listening to me, watching me, they don't know what is it. It looks funny. God forbid, they shouldn't come to Ghana. But that is when you know that you start reading about it. When it happens, you do not even have the right, or by yourself, you can't even be working in the public domain. You cannot come to work. Companies worldwide are asking their workers to stay home and work from home. Imagine if your work, you cannot work from home, meaning that you'll be unemployed. Nobody will pay you for staying in your house. It is something young people should come together and fight the situation and spread the news about the coronavirus or the COVID. Just at UK, it was just about 9 people over some time, but now, as at this morning, UK 41 people have been confirmed has been infected by that. In Ghana, there have been suspicions that somebody died of the coronavirus in Kumasi. It's still being investigated, but something for sure, even if it is true, to calm tension and to avoid fear and panic within our population. I'm sure that story will be covered. But is the government really prepared to battle coronavirus? Kotoka International Airport has a facility that's scanned through the system now that ensures that anybody that has it, they'll scan and can detect the virus. What about people who are traveling to, because of the ECOWAS free trade, using cars to enter? Don't forget that in Senegal, the person who had the infection came from Italy through a ship or a boat. Food for thought. I'll be back tomorrow with another exciting edition of Youth Empowerment Television Show. My name is Richmond Amofasapon. If you say a prayer, say something for me. Saturday is the most happiest day, together with other days that I've experienced in my life. Something blissful would happen. And thank you so much. Bye.